Hello and welcome to Creative Walks. Today I woke up at 5:30 a.m., still in the darkness. There were only a few moments in my life where I would wake up super early and be fully awake. I'm usually a night person. I have my most productive and most creative time working starting at around midnight and finishing at around 3 a.m. I really don't like it, but it just happens that in the morning I am a zombie, and then as the day progresses, I get more and more awake and more inspired. And I know that a lot of people like to wake up super early and get a lot of work done, or their workouts, or whatever kind of activities they prefer to do on their own. They kind of have this feeling of getting an early start on people because everybody's still sleeping and they're already getting on with it. To me, it's kind of the other way around. It's everybody went to sleep, so they sort of gave up on the day, and I am still there, still working, still trying to create something. And also there is no sense of urgency, which is why I think I love the nighttime. It's a time where, as I mentioned, everybody went to sleep, so there is I can imagine all the people sleeping and dreaming, and I sort of think that we can capture that in the ether. I know I'm going to bed and then my day will start, so there is no rush. There is no I'll have to go do this and that. No, I still have to go to sleep afterwards. I don't know, maybe it's just a rationalization, but I kind of like it. Although I've been trying to get up early and earlier for your health, it's probably a better thing to wake up early. And I remember when I was playing tennis fairly consistently about 10 years ago, I would wake up at 5:30, no problem, and just jump out, get on the car and go play tennis at 7 a.m. with some partners. So hopefully I can find some sort of activity that will justify waking up at that ungodly hour. But I'm mentioning this because today, unfortunately, I woke up super early, not with much inspiration in my mind, but because I had a very strange dream. I don't know, it only happened twice in my life that I dreamt of someone that had already died, but in that dream, they were about to die. So in this case, it was my grandmother who died late into her 90s last year. And I remember 2 years ago was the last time I saw her. And I remember that I went to her house with my family, and she lives in the far south of Brazil. Even though I was born there, I don't usually go there. But I wanted to go and visit her and see how she was and present her my wife. So it was a very touching moment because for some reason, and I am very not the person that believes in supernatural things and all that stuff, but it was a strange sense as we were about to go out, that I would never see her again. It was a very strange, how can I say, feeling that overwhelmed me. Everybody had almost left the house. When I was a teenager, we had a very nice relationship because I was the first grandson. So there was this sort of it's very common in these families from the South, this worshipping of the firstborn son or firstborn grandson in this case. But I remember she really enjoyed spending time with me, and I really enjoyed spending time with her. And I remember, even though she had some of her physical faculties starting to deteriorate and her mind also starting to deteriorate, but as it happens with people in dementia and problems like that, they have some moments of clarity. And I remember that she was kind of annoyed to have all these kids and people around. She always liked more order and those things. And she goes to me, sets me aside, and in these moments of being very, let's say, with her mind clear, cleared of this fog of time, she said, like, oh, next time drop by, just you for a while, so whenever you have time, so we can chat, play cards or something. So I said, oh yeah, like whenever we have time, for when we have time. And I remember like I fell down in tears. It was so hard to hold it because for whatever reason I knew I would never see her again. It was very, very strange. And then like about 6 months later, that's in 2019, she passed away, and that was that. So, and I never really of course I cried and it was sad and everything, and I saw her photos and just paid my respects, so to speak, for a person that doesn't believe in the afterlife and all that stuff. But it was very interesting to, I knew that there would be something psychologically that would happen afterwards. And I was not really sure when it would hit. And unfortunately, that's circling back to the 5:30 a.m. talk, but I had a dream about her last night. And I had a dream that she was basically still alive, but about to die. And that I was there. And then at some point I say, oh, I don't want you to go. It's not the time yet. Very strange. She just taps on my back and said yeah, don't worry, it's time, and go do your stuff. So I woke up in this, of course, sad note, and it's not really a nightmare, but it was one of those dreams that you think, damn it, I slept 4 or 5 hours, I should be staying in bed, but I was actually afraid of what kind of dream it would come if I went to bed again. And I was absolutely fully awake at that point. So I said, you know what, I'll just get up. And it was interesting because it was literally dark. And I said, I can go and watch the sunrise. That would be fun. I haven't done that in a while, so why not? That could be a good thing to do. It's always good to see the sky go from dark to red and slowly becoming bluer and bluer until it becomes the empire of the sun. Then when I was looking at it, I thought, I don't really have a photo of the sunrise. It's not my thing. I don't usually take landscapes unless it is to feature a person in that landscape. But then I thought, it would be interesting to capture this moment, capture the sunrise. And as the sky was changing colors, it was right in that moment where there is this mix of a little bit of blue, a little bit of black, a little bit of orange and red. And the sky was changing colors every time I would look to the side. And I was looking for my camera and preparing my tripod and preparing the camera and thinking what kind of exposure and what kind of settings I should use for a photo so dark, because I usually don't take these kinds of photos. And then I was thinking, it's such an interesting analogy to what my grandmother said on the dream, go do your stuff. It's so about capturing the sunrise, because as you are preparing your things and thinking of the technical aspects of whatever you're going to do, as you're preparing your canvas or your camera or your instrument, the sky is changing colors. It is inevitably changing, and it's inevitably, whenever you get ready to capture, in this case with the sunrise, the colors will have already changed. I don't know, just thought it was an interesting observation. I was thinking, oh wow, even though it's super early, it's later than I think. So I better go and get it. Because time, this old brother of ours, he does not wait. So anyway, just a little bit on the sad note, but I think remembering you're going to die is probably one of the best things to remind yourself from time to time. And if there is any kind of afterlife, and even if there isn't, I think there is some merit in the idea that you should try to make your ancestors proud. And most of all, the people that will come after you, because they will be the future ancestors of someone. And because of our actions, hopefully their lives will be better. And I think that's the main lesson from listening to our ancestors and to trying to make them proud, it's this idea not of respecting traditions and all that stifle stuff, but it's about honoring their bet and about honoring all the work that they have done to make sure we are here today. But I think that's a subject for another day. Anyway, go chase your sunrise. There will be another one tomorrow, but hopefully you won't have to wait until tomorrow to go catch it. With that, I'll talk to you tomorrow.